month of February has flown by, and that means it's time for a new Blu-ray and Funko Pop haul. So let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. Share your pickups from this month. What movies did you get? What toys? What collectibles? All of that fun stuff. I'd love to know what fun things you were able to pick up. If you're new to my haul videos, they're intentionally more laid back. Just me hitting record, telling stories about the stuff that I picked up and the nature of those movies, all of that stuff. Also, if you enjoy kind of these more laid back type videos from me that are less edited, less written and polished, be sure to check out my podcast. I launched it in the month of February. So there's 4 main episodes and there's a couple of actual extra bonus episodes on the audio version of it as well. So you can dive into that and kind of have my more laid back take with me talking with some of my friends about the latest movie news and everything happening in nerd culture. With that said, let's go ahead and get started with our little haul that we've got. First up, we've got Rambo Last Blood. So, I've said it many times before, huge Stallone fan, one of my favorite actors. Grown up watching the Rambo series. This latest edition, if it wasn't called Rambo, if it was just Stallone doing hard R Taken, I probably would have enjoyed it more. As potentially our last Rambo movie, probably our last Rambo movie, really felt like an odd way to kind of bookend the series. So I have lots of mixed feelings on it. I love a good revenge, brutal film. That's what this is. Feels really weird as a Rambo movie, though. So I waited till the movie was kind of the price was right. I had a price point in my mind. As soon as it would hit it, I would buy it. Went to Best Buy, found it for that price, picked it up, and got the 4K, which is actually the same price as the Blu-ray. So continuing to try and future-proof my collection and getting more 4Ks as I get closer and closer to actually buying a 4K player and 4K TV. Next up, we'll go with this little set right here, or set plus movie, making my way through the Bond movies. And some of the older ones aren't necessarily fully my thing, but as soon as you get to Dalton and Brosnan, that's the Bond that I grew up with. So the first Bond I saw in the theater was Goldeneye. I don't remember if I had watched some of the Dalton movies on cable TV first, or if it was kind of Goldeneye was coming out, so I checked it out. I don't remember exactly how that played out, but Goldeneye's release was kind of that thing that pulled me into the world of Bond. And so the movie that came out before that was License to Kill. So I've always had a soft spot for this one. It's also a revenge film, as we just discussed. I love brutal revenge films. This is probably the most brutal of the Bond films with the most kind of just violence inside of it. And then, of course, the Brosnan collection. I saw all these in the theater. That was this was the Bond of my formative years. And, this is a mixed set of movies right here. But Goldeneye was a nice way to kick things off. So when it came time to do this series where I'm going through all the Bond movies and ranking them, definitely wanted to get the set for Brosnan since I'm, like I said, those are the formative ones for my years. Couple of movies that kind of go together a little bit that are working towards a video coming out in, I believe, early June after Wonder Woman comes out. Couple of Batman movies, or a Batman movie and a fake Batman movie in Catwoman that's like a spin-off, but not really at all. Got a big ranking coming out early June. Related, you can think through this one and figure out pretty quickly what I'm working towards. But you can also follow me on Letterboxd. It's just my name, Sean Chandler, one word. And you can figure out what movies I'm watching. You'll know what rankings are coming. But anyway, so Batman 66, I thought I owned it, but I guess I don't. So bought this like $5 off of Amazon. So price was right, and need to watch that one with my kids. They get a hoot out of it. My daughter actually likes Catwoman. I don't know what the scenario was where I let her watch this one at age 5, but that happened. So, need to rewatch this one with her. And, there's a great basketball sequence in this otherwise terrible movie. By great basketball sequence, I mean not great basketball sequence. Then we've got one. This one was actually a little bit frustrating. Picked up Warcraft. I had a digital copy for it. One of my patrons, B-Wise, actually gave it to me a couple years back. Went to go rewatch it to do my video game movie rankings. And I guess in all the swaps of like the mergers of Ultraviolent and Movies Anywhere and Vudu, I lost it. Like I don't have it anymore, even though I had it for like 2 years and then checked and it was gone. Frustrating. So, but you can pick this up pretty cheap. So picked it up, have a physical copy of it now. The movie itself, pretty big of a letdown for me, unfortunately. Then, a couple of solid pickups of new releases. First one, Frozen 2. I think, basically, if you average it out between Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, I've watched through a Frozen movie every single day this year on average, because some days I watch it twice. Not because I'm in the mood to watch Frozen, but because I have a baby that always wants to watch Frozen and kids that always want to watch Frozen 2. So I've listened to the soundtrack every time we've gotten in the car with them of Frozen 2 for 3.5 months straight. And then this whole year, the baby just only wants to watch Elsa. So I've watched a ton of Frozen. So this one, when it finally did come out and I could actually put on Frozen 2, it was a little bit of a relief from watching the first Frozen on loop every single day. But I had some criticisms of this movie when it first came out, and some of them I've softened on, probably to a certain extent. But, you know, it's not a perfect movie. But there's some it factor with the Frozen movies. There's just something about them that they just are very rewatchable and addictive. For the characters, the melodrama, the songs, of course. Very powerful stuff, while at the same time you could nitpick all kinds of stuff in there that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Then we've got Knives Out. This is one that I got to actually see 2 months before it came out at Fantastic Fest, and was a huge fan of it, but then when it came out, wrong timing, so I couldn't take my wife to go see it, even though like a whodunit is right up her alley. So as soon as this one was on Vudu, I did the digital deal where you could get the digital copy 2 weeks early as soon as it came out, and then they'd mail you the disc. So we did that one so I could watch it with her as soon as it was possible to do so, and she thoroughly enjoyed it as well. And having watched it a second time, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Then this month, somehow it worked out that I got a whole bunch of these Funko Pops. Not really intentionally at all, but it's the way that worked out. First up, my wife picked me up the Terminator Dark Fate collection. A lot of people were not crazy about Terminator Dark Fate, but the Chandler household, we thoroughly enjoyed it. I can respect that other people didn't like it, though I don't fully understand some of the hate, but other parts I do. So, first up, we got our Rev 9. If you don't know, I actually got to interview the actor that played Rev 9. He's from Austin. It was my first actor I've ever gotten to interview at a press junket in the room and everything. Very cool little experience, though I botched it. But cool experience nonetheless that I got to meet and talk with him. And then we got Sarah Connor, old Sarah Connor, who's just as tough as ever. A lot of fun to see that. And then Carl. I wish it said Carl. It says T800. I wish it said Carl. That would be a whole lot more fun. But, you know, Arnold's always great in these movies, and they keep giving him new things to do. And Carl, I thought, was a nice addition. Then we've got IG-11. I was a huge fan of The Mandalorian. My son, in particular, was very fond of IG-11, so my wife wanted to make sure we had an IG-11 for him before these got more expensive. So we picked up an IG-11 for him. My mom found Harley Quinn at the local theater, so she bought this one, gave it to me as a present, which I greatly appreciated. And our final of the day, since we got a new Pixar movie, I decided to amp up my Pixar Funko collection just a little bit and picked myself up a Frozone to amp it up, fill in some gaps just a little bit. There you have it. That's what I picked up this month. More Funkos than I was expecting and more new releases as well, but there you have it. Tell me what you got down below. If you want more casual kind of free-form little videos like this, check out that podcast, and thank you so much for watching.